Best Career Advice Part 1.
Yes.
We asked business leaders what was the best advice they ever received in their career. Here's what they responded.
You have 2 ears, one mouth. You need to listen twice as much as you speak. We all get plenty of good advice, but I don't know what, that one stick with me, and I use it a lot with some people. You're not listening enough. Just remember the math. 2, 1.
If you have something good to say about someone, tell everyone. If you have something negative to say about someone, tell the person privately. I like people around me to do that. You learn from that. And I want to do that for others also. So I think that creates a culture that's a growing culture for everyone. So I tell our young people, spend 10% of your time doing stuff that you love, and spend 90% of your time doing stuff that you have to do. And eventually the 10% will become 20, 30, 40%. And you'll give a chance to others to learn, and you'll be able to spend most of your time in what you wanted to learn and start learning something new.
Take time. When I look at young generation now, including me, we always want to go fast. With social networks, if you don't have a Lamborghini or anything before the age of 30, you kind of failure. Sometimes it's really important to be patient, because at the end of the day, a senior sales executive, we have great skills, but after doing 10, 15 years in sales. So yeah, take the time, learn, do some career move, but be patient, I think is the best words.
Build your network. I think this is an important one. If I could go back to my 20s, what I'm able to do, it's because I've took 20 years of building a network.
What would be your tip to build your network?
So when you start a job and you work with a person, you sit next to that person and you talk to understand their reality. So that person understands your reality, and then win-win.
Be transparent, be yourself, make sure that you stay who you are. Being out of your comfort zone all of the time. And learn from your mistake. Honestly, somebody told me, it's okay to make mistakes, but you have to learn from that. Nobody makes mistakes if they don't do anything. So do mistakes.
I think the best advice that someone tell me is, Émilie, chill.
We're not expecting that.
And yes, and I think that it's the best advice because sometimes things are going so fast and you have to go through a lot of stress. You have to have fun as well. You have to enjoy the process as well. For sure, you seek perfection and you want to impress your colleagues and your boss, but to be honest, sometimes do the job, but have fun doing it. So chill. I think this is some things that I have to remind myself every now and then.
There are certain sort of maxims or mottos that stick in your mind. There's an old saying, certainly not mine, that you should try to be the boss that you wished you had earlier, which is, I think, always good advice. I distinctly remember a conversation I had with one of my bosses who said that you should go through your day so that every encounter, every meeting, every conversation is purposeful. And he had an exercise of taking a breath and thinking for a minute before starting any meeting. What is the purpose of this meeting? What am I, what is it supposed to accomplish? And I think if people were a bit more mindful about purpose, they would get a lot more out of every workday. The advice I give to young public servants is don't get stressed out about your career path and whether you're going to reach a certain level of the ladder by age 30 or age 40. Be curious and learn and follow interesting people and interesting work, and it'll take care of it. And that's more or less the story of my career.
Being in the news, sometimes it's difficult because everybody has an opinion on what we should be doing. So there's an expression that says, this too shall pass. So sometimes you just have to remember that, that moment is going to pass and you're going to move on to something else.
Always keep learning. If you're doing something and you're not learning anymore, change right away. For your mental health, for your personal development, even if you're an expert in something, there's always something more to learn. And you can apply it, or you can just enjoy life knowing that you're a little better than you were yesterday. And I think that's something very meaningful in anyone's life.
You remember I said sometimes I need to think and reflect on things. But over-reflecting or overthinking is not the right way to act. The advice I received was sometimes difficult issues need to be addressed faster than you think they need to be addressed. But someone told me, I knew the issue, I knew how to resolve it, but I took too long, despite the fact that I knew. Sometimes I'm wondering, are we taking too long just to move on? So maybe I'm not that clear, but it is. It's about timing.
Yeah.
And finding the right timing, sometimes it's like, if we go too fast, it's bad. And if we take too long, it's as bad.
Being able to do things in step. When the complications or the problem looks big, just narrow it down to actions after actions. When you tend to do that, things tend to sort themselves out as well. There is action in inaction in a way. So as you focus on smaller things, the big complication tends to sort themselves out.
Realize your dream. No time to lose. I always say L'Oréal have more than 80,000 people, but me, I just have one life. So L'Oréal do not promote me there and there. I just build, design the lives that I want. And this is why I always realize my dream. So my advice to young people, you are not a victim of the society. Realize your dream.
I feel that we don't leverage the full potential of the tools that we have. I learn a lot about the full potential of these tools and how to use them for the right purpose and for being efficient and not be lost in the administrative stuff in the way you organize your task. To take probably 10% of this time to build my to-do list every Sunday for the rest of my week, and then focus 90% of my time on delivering added value.
Always be courageous. The great qualities of a person that I respect is that, the courage.
I would say to be curious. I would tell my 20-year-old self to be more curious, actually. To know that you don't know, to ask for different perception, to ask for a different point of view, and to try stuff.